welcome to Meet the Candidate. And my guest this afternoon is Chris Cargill, who is running for Liberty Lake City Council, position number 2. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I know we haven't had invitations out to those who are running unopposed. You did not draw a candidate, but this is about letting the community meet the people who are volunteering for these positions. And so I'm happy to sit here and get acquainted.
Yes, I'm happy to be here, and I feel the same way. I've been out campaigning and talking with people, and people have asked me all the time, you don't have an opponent. Why are you even campaigning? Because I think anyone who signs up to run for public office has a responsibility to go out and meet the people and let them get a chance to know who you are and what you're all about.
Well, I'm going to start with the same question I ask everybody. Just tell me about where you grew up and first went to school.
Yeah, I was born and raised here. Actually grew up in Otis Orchards, and then we moved over to the Central Valley School District, and so I'm a local kid. Went to Central Valley High School, then Gonzaga University, stayed here my whole life, raising my family here with my wife Lisa and our 2 boys, Lincoln and Hudson. And we just decided that this was the best area for us. We have a family here. I love the Spokane area, love the Liberty Lake area, love the North Idaho area. The entire area is just the place I want to be, and the place that both my wife and I grew up and where we're going to stay.
Okay. Well, growing up here, did you have some early first jobs in the community?
I did, actually. When the Spokane Valley Mall was first opening, I was one of the first people to get a job at the movie theater there when I think I was 16 or 17, can't remember. Then I worked at Fred Meyer, which is out in the Valley, of course, big store out in the Valley, and then made the move over to Sears out at the Valley Mall. So before I got into my professional career and went to school, I was working at those locations out in the Valley. Great experiences at each of those locations. Did a lot of hard work, and that, of course, was when the minimum wage was still $4 or $5 an hour. So
Yeah.
my kids keep asking me for more and more cash, and I keep reminding them of those stories. And then I say, you know what? I kind of sound like my parents when I do that.
It's funny how that comes back
Yeah,
to you.
exactly.
Yeah. So what did you study at Gonzaga?
I studied broadcast communications, and political science was my minor. And so went to school and did those 2. And that was really before the broadcast communications department took off at Gonzaga. It was just getting going. Dan Garrity, a former Krem anchor and news person, news person who's down in the Boise area now, really took the broadcasting school to new heights. Him, as well as Mike Fitzsimmons and Father Lyons at Gonzaga. So it was a great opportunity to really get into broadcasting before Gonzaga's broadcasting school really got a foothold in the community. And I would dare say now it competes with WSU.
Okay. Well, you've got deep roots here. Have you had an opportunity to travel to other areas of the country, other areas of the world that have informed your worldview?
Yeah, I mean, one of the great things about my job is not only being able to travel to other areas and see how other areas do things, but also study policy from other areas and figure out what works and what doesn't work. And so I have a lot of experience doing that, really looking at governmental policies in the different states and some of the different countries as well, to be able to inform some of the decisions I hope to make on the city council. As far as traveling to different areas, I've mainly stayed stateside. And I have family in Georgia and family in Texas, and so you kind of get a mix of different policies and different ideas when you're in those particular states. But overall, one of the great things about my job is just being able to get that experience from other states and see what the other legislatures, other city councils, other mayors are doing.
Okay. Well, what drew you to step up, to jump into politics beyond just reading the policies of others?
Yeah, I don't really consider it, I know it is, but I don't really consider it jumping into politics. I really consider it more of a community service type thing. And that's especially true, I think, in some of these smaller cities where you have a city council that almost everyone knows your name, knows who you are. You have the opportunity, yes, to push policy and policy ideas, but it's not really as political as, say, the state legislature or the Congress. And so people have said, well, now you're a politician. I don't really consider myself a politician. What I'm here doing is trying to advance good policy ideas that can move the city of Liberty Lake forward, and make sure that we're governing in a direction that includes the people. I think one of my biggest pet peeves is when the people pass a law or pass something, a resolution, a ballot measure, a city council or a mayor or a judge comes in and immediately overturns that. I think that's one of the things that drives me up a wall, perhaps more than any other, is somehow saying that the voters don't know as well as the city councils or the mayors or the other elected officials. And that's one thing that if I get elected in Liberty Lake, I'll be making sure I pay close attention to, is what the people want.
Okay. Well, we could go to that last closing question. And I will ask you to directly answer the question, why should people vote for Chris Cargill for Liberty Lake City Council?
Yeah, and I think the answer to that question is not because I'm the only person on the ballot. You always have the chance of a great write-in campaign. But I think the reason why is because I'm a different kind of candidate. I'm not the type of candidate who's just going to yield to the bureaucracy that's in place. I'm a candidate who's going to ask tough questions, demand excellence from our city, make sure our city is heading in a positive direction, is going to make sure our city bans an income tax, for instance, like so many other cities now are doing across the state, is going to make sure that we have priorities of government budgeting, that we are paying for and budgeting for the top things rather than the things at the bottom of the list. And there's so many different issues like that they're small tweaks, but they're tweaks that can make a boatload of difference. So that's what I want to bring to Liberty Lake, and that's the reason why I'm running in this race.
All right. Well, Chris, good luck in your first run for
Thank
public
you.
office.
Thank you.
And enjoy your campaign until November.
All right. Thanks, Lani.
What does it mean to be awake? It means to truly understand the issues facing us and actively participate as a citizen in this country. One way you can do that is by voting your values, based on the Word of God. We believe We Vote has done the research and provides you the information you need to make an informed decision on which candidates will champion our values and work for us. Now is the time to rise up, get involved, and vote. WeBelieveWeVote.com.
Hello, Spokane. This is Governor Mike Huckabee. I'm going to be speaking at We Believe, We Vote's October 2nd fundraiser. It's more important than ever for Christians to come together and to vote. I'm looking forward to seeing you on October the 2nd of this year. For tickets to the event, go to WeBelieveWeVote.com.